now it's seeming that some people are taking it as an opportunity, but other people are taking it as a burden, as they don't have time to get all their facts straight. They're constantly needing to update. You know, New York Times reporters are having to give information constantly rather than getting time to check around.
I think with any technology, we evolve how we use it. I think this is true with email as well. You know, when it first came out, and even today in some respects, it became overwhelming. Cell phones, everyone carries a cell phone with them today. Now you're reachable everywhere, so how do you deal with that? How do you turn it off? I think there is a very important part that the New York Times plays in this story, in that suddenly they have a huge swath of, like, you know, man on the street accounts, but at the same time, they bring a lot of journalistic integrity to the story. They are willing to go out and really take the gossip and take, you know, these you know somewhat biased accounts of what's happening, and putting to something cohesive, put it into a narrative that people can digest. And whether it be, you know, if it's 140 characters or a full-length article, it doesn't really matter, but they train themselves professionally to do so. So I think it's a time right now when, you know, yeah, you kind of see all this and you're like, oh my God, I can't handle this. This is way too much. This changes my whole career. And I was like, well, yeah, it does. You know, get into it. Learn how to use it. Learn how it helps you and how it burdens you, and get that on the table so that you can move forward. But you know, I would challenge them to do that. It's not going to be easy. Changing never is. But this is where the world is going.
I was gonna say, like you were saying, like with the credible news sources changing. Like a few weeks ago, when the big rig smashed into a muni train downtown, my friend had posted a picture on Twitter, and with the hashtag next to it, put Muni fail, and he got contacted by CBS if they could use that as the picture on their website. And so I just thought it was kind of interesting, like watching how the credible news source was just searching for someone that was right there, who happened near his work, and then they made it credible, like putting it onto their website.
Right. I think that's fascinating. I think the definition of credibility really changes in that case, because it's not CBS making that report credible. It's the fact that that person was right there, and they took hard evidence of it, and they just exposed it to a mass of people that may not be on the technology or may not be following that person. You know, so they're another conduit into ways to expose these different accounts without a massive following, without, you know, a certain position within the company or position within, you know, the club of celebrities that we have. So yeah.
I just thought it was interesting that he was like, yeah, I just got a tweet from CBS 5 that they want to use my picture.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think we'll be seeing a lot more of that.
Yeah. Do you think there's any future with, like, more defined, like, hashtags and stuff? Because I know, wasn't that pretty much user generated that people?
That's also user generated.
The hashtags to get a specific topic going.
Yeah, I think that's fascinating, because it speaks to an intentional grouping. Groups are the #1 feature that, you know, users have asked for since day one. And what I like about hashtags is it's another model which is just, you know, forms in the moment for a specific purpose, and then is able to very quietly disperse. And it served its purpose, and now it's gone. It's very ephemeral. So I don't know. It's definitely something that we're looking at, and we'll make it easier. We made it easier with search because you can click on hashtags. It hasn't made its way into the main product yet, but I imagine that it will soon.
Do you have a standard or an evolving answer when people say, well, isn't Twitter just a fad, especially business people?
Every answer is evolving. If it's just a fad, I think the concept is strong enough that it really speaks against that. But again, I think you know, it's really what's being exposed right now. We've gone through different stages of how people are using this, and none of those have overtaken any other users. So we started out with tech early adopters in San Francisco, and everyone was like, isn't Twitter's just kind of a fad because it's just tech early adopters. It's not really going to take off. It's just geeks and nerds who are using it every day, and that's really the best you have to hope for. So when you sell the company, we're like, it's hard to hear that, and you get slightly worried, but you're like, no, I'm gonna shut that off for now. And then we got it from the social media experts. We got a lot of usage around social media experts, and then we got marketing and PR, and now we're getting celebrities. And the same question is asked every single time: Isn't this just a fad? Well, yes, it may be a fad for the way people are using it today, but how are they going to be using it tomorrow? I don't know. We can't answer that certainly, and I don't think anyone can. It's a fad if the users determine that they wish to leave it, and that's all it's good for. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I really truly believe that it is an underlying utility. It's an underlying communications technology, and those things persist.
Is Twitter making any effort at all to go international? And if so, what are they, or what are you guys doing?
We very early on we discovered all this usage in Japan,
Okay.
and so we were kind of like, well, why are we blowing up in Japan? Why is that our second largest market? It was accounting for 30% of our traffic, which was insane for a brand new startup that was not in Japanese. We had nothing translated, so we're like, oh, maybe we should do something. Maybe we should translate, and we translated it, and